Hello everyone, and thank you very much for watching this video. And most of all, happy July 4th, the birthday of the United States. Now, this video is about the authors of the Declaration of Independence. The question is, that I'm trying to answer by the end of this video is this: who wrote the Declaration of Independence? So let's take a look at it. First of all, speaking about the Declaration of Independence of the United States, we have to keep in mind that it's fact that the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th of 1776 by the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. Also, the declaration was signed by 56 delegates, who later became known as the nation's founding fathers. Now, who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Here's the thing. We have to keep in mind that history is based on facts and proper analysis of the facts. But also, history is based on the emphasis that we put on certain facts, events, or certain people. So yes, when we ask the question, who wrote the Declaration of Independence, we always put a lot of emphasis on Thomas Jefferson. So this is Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was the first Secretary of the State. He was the second President of the United States and the third President of the United States. We also have to keep in mind that Thomas Jefferson was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, but we have to keep in mind that the Declaration of Independence was written by a Committee of Five. And Committee of Five was charged by the Second Continental Congress with authoring the Declaration of Independence. So this Committee of Five is actually a group of delegates or founding fathers who wrote the Declaration of Independence, or who helped Thomas Jefferson to write this important document. So Committee of Five was made of John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, Robert Livingston, and of course, Thomas Jefferson. So those are five delegates that were members of the Committee of Five. So let's take a look at it. John Adams was the representative from Massachusetts, and he was the second president of the United States. And of course, he was one of the founding fathers of the United States. Then we have Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was a representative from Pennsylvania. He was American polymath, diplomat, statesman, inventor, philosopher, and one of the founding fathers of the United States. Unfortunately, Ben Franklin never became president of the United States. However, many of you know Benjamin Franklin from a $100 bill. That's where his picture is. Then here is another member of the Committee of Five, and that's Roger Sherman. Roger Sherman was a representative from Connecticut. He was a statesman, lawyer. Of course, he was a founding father, and he was also founding father who signed all four great papers. When we say great papers, we mean the Continental Association, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, and of course, the Constitution of the United States. Now, Roger Sherman was born in Massachusetts, but his family moved to Connecticut when he was a little boy, and that's where he became successful. That's where he grew up. And we also have Robert Livingston. Robert Livingston, believe it or not, was the representative from New York, and he was the first chancellor of New York. Chancellor is like the first governor, I would say, at that time. And also, Robert Livingston was the first Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Now, what is the difference between the first Secretary of Foreign Affairs and the first Secretary of the State Department? And the first Secretary of the State Department was Thomas Jefferson, as we know. Now, the first Secretary of Foreign Affairs, and that was Robert Livingston, he performed this duty, or he took this office when the United States was Confederation. In other words, when the United States operated under the Articles of Confederation. So that's when Robert Livingston became the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. However, when the United States adopted the Constitution and federalism and established the federal government, then Thomas Jefferson became the first Secretary of the State. In other words, Secretary of State is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he deals with the treaties, diplomacy, and foreign countries, and international politics. Now, here's another thing. Here is another event that's very important for the independence of the United States that we usually don't put a lot of emphasis on. And that would be the Treaty of Paris that was signed in 1783. Or maybe I should be more specific and say September 3rd of 1783, and it was put in effect on May 12th of 1784. Now, this Treaty of Paris ended the American Revolution. So the Great Britain and United States signed a peace agreement. And most importantly, the Great Britain recognized the United States as a sovereign and independent country. Also, this treaty defined boundaries between British North America, that later became known as Canada, and the United States. Now, with this treaty, and this is one thing that I find very interesting, is the fact that the territory of the United States almost doubled, and the United States gained access to the Mississippi River, which was a very important trade route at that time. Now, here's another interesting fact about the Treaty of Paris. This painting was made by Benjamin West, and during that meeting, we had an American delegation that consisted of John Jay, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Henry Lawrence, and William Franklin, and British delegation made of David Hartley and Richard Oswald. After signing the Treaty of Paris back in 1783, Benjamin West wanted to make a painting of that event, so he asked the delegates to pose for this painting. However, and unfortunately, British delegates refused to pose for this painting. So unfortunately, the painting has never been finished. So yes, again, it's July 4th, and we celebrate the Independence Day. So happy birthday, the United States. And you guys, thank you very much for watching this video. And I would also like to ask you to subscribe to my videos to learn more about the history of the United States, as well as political practices in the United States. So thank you very much, and you have a blessed day.